Hello, welcome to my channel. My name is Prince Obiefle and this is Igbo Made is in day one. Igbo Ndem Women and Dem Women. I'm Mazi Prince Obiefle. In here, Igbo Made Easy. Igbo Emerenfe. So in this video today, I want to tell you 4 powerful tips, tricks, hacks that you can use to learn the Igbo language. And trust me, these tips can also be used to learn any other language in the world. I'm just saying Igbo because what we are on it is Igbo Made Easy. So I'm teaching you the Igbo language, and I'm really passionate about learning language. I'm really passionate about language because I myself am not just only a language instructor but also a language student. I'm putting myself in that loop where I'm a teacher at one time and an instructor, a student at the other time. I do one-on-one classes for people on Igbo, and I also take my one-on-one classes. Yes, I have one-on-one classes even in house right now going on. So you can imagine. So being there keeps me in that place where I have this perspective. Of course, there are 1,000,001 powerful tips for learning any language, even the Igbo language. But these ones I'm telling you are not just some things that are coming from just professionalism and big book knowledge and experts' opinion and all that. No, this is coming from practice. This is coming from experience. This is coming from not just me, but every student I have worked with. These are things that I've come to find. I've put this to work at different times and I've seen the different results, and I've put some other things to work and I've also seen some different results. So the ones I'm giving you are not just the only thing that is out there, but the ones I'm giving you are the things that actually work. They do the work. So the number one, the very number one on my list is the silent period. The silent period. The silent period for me is like the foundation of learning a language. You know, when you're building anything, I'm not an architect though, but when you're building anything, you know the foundation is key. If the foundation is faulty, then the whole structure is going to be shaky and you're going to have to put a lot to make it stand longer. And if you want to avoid all of that stress and just give yourself a very solid building, a very solid structure, then you want to start from your foundation and make sure your foundation is good. And the foundation for language learning is sleep period. So this sleep period, what is it? I said sleep period. It's not sleep period though. It's silent period, not sleep period. Don't mind me. So silent period. So the silent period, what is it about? It's about soaking in the sounds of the language, soaking in the language, just getting yourself to feel the language. You understand? At this time, you're not actively learning, you're passively learning. Very, very passively. In fact, one of the most effective ways of doing this silent period is like when you're sleeping, you know, the consciousness is not there, but the sound is happening all around you. You'll be amazed at how much information you still collect even while you sleep. So the music that play around you when you're sleeping sometimes can affect your mood when you're waking up, you see, because while you're asleep, your subconscious is not asleep. It's still picking up all those things happening around you. So your memory is asleep, but then you are still, you know, getting all of it inside of your system and all that. So that's what happens with you when you're trying to learn the Igbo language in your sleep. And somebody asked me a question one time when I made video on sleep learning, say, Prince, can we actually learn Igbo while we sleep? Yes, you can learn Igbo while you sleep, and it's not just Igbo language. Try it. Go on Google and YouTube right now. Oh, not right now, please. I want you to finish this video. Finish the video. Okay, go on YouTube and search sleep learning Spanish, sleep learning Chinese, sleep learning something. You're gonna see the thousands, not thousands, I exaggerate, the tens of videos that are going to come out on sleep learning. So why are these guys in on sleep learning if sleep learning doesn't actually work? It's been researched and it works. And I'm not just saying it because, yeah, these guys are doing it. I'm saying it because I have actually tried it and I used it in learning me some Spanish and all of that, and it works. So sleep learning is a very powerful tool. Sleep learning works, and sleep learning is something you should be exploring if you've not started exploring it. So that's one of the ways you can practice your silent period. While you're sleeping, while you're not even making any attempt to just play the sound of Igbo around you. How do you think babies learn language? Babies didn't just come out and say, okay, teach me how to say boo boo gaga. So that silent period, when the baby was in the stomach, when the baby was sleeping, when the baby was just born, couldn't even speak anything and all that sound happening around it, just kind of, so you take advantage of it. You can learn it while you're sleeping. You can use it for when you're driving. You know, you go to my playlist. I have a playlist on Igbo English, so it has 3 videos or so on it. So just put them playlists on and just have it play and put it in a loop or repeat, whatever, and you would have yourself some good quality silent period. Gratification. The gratification. You want to start enjoying. You want to start feeling the end product. You see, you don't have to wait. You don't have to wait. It's just like you enter school immediately and you're touching your first class certificate. You know, this is my first class certificate. I'm a first class graduate. You know, this is my certificate and all that. Okay, I'm using that. Whatever. So it's like before you make investments, you're already collecting the profit of the investment from the very first time you put in your check. You're already cashing out, and it's like, oh my god, I can see it. You know. So that is what you want. You don't want to delay gratification. You don't want to start cashing out your checks at the end of the business. No, you want to start speaking the Igbo that you know. From the very first day you decide, I'm going to speak Igbo, from that day you start speaking. That's what start speaking. Trust me on this. Trust me on this. You say you don't want to make mistakes. That is the point. That is the point. That is the point. That is the major point. I don't want to call it making mistakes. I have to call it gratification. That is the point, because you want to start making mistakes immediately. You want to start being comfortable to sound foolish, because remember, these sounds are not coherent in the language you have already. You understand? They are not coherent in the language you have already. And imagine if you said something and someone said, you just revert back to English because you are scared out of your wit. I just said nonsense. I just said nonsense. I tell my students on one-on-one, I say, this is me and you now. You know, the whole world is out. These are our little secrets. So this is time to make blunders. This is time to sound foolish. This is time to sound how you cannot imagine yourself sound. I cannot imagine myself sound this way in my life. So this is time to sound it. You understand? You have the license to sound it. This is soundproof. It's just me and you. Nobody's gonna hear. So that's what you want. You want to start making the mistakes already. Start making the mistakes. Don't delay gratification. Start speaking. Usually what I do is I start with the thank yous of the language. If I'm trying to learn the language, I start with thank yous. You know, the gracias, the nagode. So say, you understand, and you know how to say thank you. You know, learn how to say thank you. Learn how to say good morning. Learn how to say hi. Learn how to say hello. In Igbo, that would be ndewo. Ndewo is the one you have it cheap. Ndewo can give you hello. Ndewo can give you hi. Ndewo can give you thank you. Ndewo can, all those little things that you want to say. So you learn the thank yous. You learn the hi. You say, and another thing I have students say for gratification is, okay, but I don't have an Igbo person around me. I don't have Igbo people around me. So who the heck am I going to practice all this Igbo on? Well, when I started speaking Spanish, something's gotta give. My parents had to, they had to just bear it, because they don't understand a thing of what I'm saying, but I still have to say me some Spanish. You understand? I have to say me some gracias. I had to say me some buenos dias. Those things are not gonna practice themselves. I'm not gonna practice them on me. So I had to practice on someone, and I was showing off too. So I'd come to them, and instead of saying hello, I'll say hola. And you're like, what's that? What's he doing? I said, I'm learning Spanish. They said, oh, you're learning Spanish. Okay, everybody get ready. We're gonna hear some Spanish for the next couple of days and weeks. So that is something you want to do. Get everybody around you involved. You have friends. Nobody lives in isolation. You have colleagues. You have people around you. I understand they are not Igbo. They don't understand Igbo. But start throwing your Igbo on them. Start doing your hola. Start doing, did I just say hola? Oh, this is what they call brain fart, not hola. Start doing your ndewo on them. Start doing your dalu on them. Start doing all those things on them. Don't delay gratification for any reason. Trust me on this. When my actual video comes out, it's gonna have full details. I might even go to give you the science of it and all of that. But for now, just trust me. Trust your Mazi. Mazi is saying, don't delay gratification. Mazi is saying, make mistakes. One of the things I try to train my students on a one-on-one is how it's being comfortable making mistakes. So when we come on one-on-one, I'm not always quick to correct. When they are making a mistake, I'm just noting the mistakes they are making. And yeah, correct. Do it. Do more. So when they have finished, as they try to make that first mistake, and I'm like, great. And they're like, oh, wow, really? That was it? Like, I did it? You did it, so more. And they do all those big more things. And when we are done with all of that, I can say, okay, Ngwa, let's do the corrections. This part was great, just tweak this. And they do it. And okay, so you find out that you are not even as bad as you thought you were. And that, for some of them, when I want to correct something, they're like, oh, I knew no, you didn't actually, did you hear what, are you listening? You don't even sound as bad as you think you sound. So just speak you some Igbo already. In Anokwa, speak some Igbo already. If you want to learn Igbo, speak you some Igbo already. That's the second one. Nke ato. Nke ato. The third one, I have a video on numbers. Go and learn numbers. Numbers are very cheap. It's a 2 minutes video. 2 minutes video that you will learn 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Very cheap. Cheap and beautiful. Straight to the point. You will love it. So, nke ato, ato. The third one is when you are learning a language, beat around the bush. Beat around the bush. Beat ye around the bush. You don't want to get stuck on just hitting the hammer on the head, hitting the hammer on the head. What if the nail has gone this way? You keep hitting it on the head and it will keep going that way on the head. No, you don't hit the hammer on the head all the time. Hitting on the head is great, but you don't hit on the head all the time. For learning Igbo and to be effective in it, beat ye around the bush. You understand? What do I mean by that exactly? Good. I have some of my most successful students don't just learn Igbo. Some of them, while they're learning Igbo, they'll say, oh, I just saw this video on people, speaking different dialects. They are asking a question. What is, let me say, good morning in Igbo? And this person is saying Otutuoma, and the other one is saying the Otutuoma too, but then the way they are saying it, the dialects they are saying it with, is sounding so different, but they are still expressing the same thing, and she's intrigued by the dialects and she's loving, oh, this dialect thing happening is so colorful. The other one, her own is food. She loves to cook food. You understand? People have different things they are looking at. Culture. Some people say some people are fascinated by the history of Igbo people. They're like, oh my God, the Biafra, this. For some people, it's the components that make up a language that they're interested in. The little things that are not exactly, for example, when I tell you Ebolachi is good morning, I could just stop saying Ebolachi is good morning. And Ebolachi is good morning though. But you want to know, okay, how is it good morning? Like, what are the things how is this thing expressed, Ebolachi? And you now get into the detail of have you passed from night into the morning. You now get into the story of how this is about how the Igbos value life and all that, and you're just soaking yourself the things that have to do around the language, because you're acquiring a language, you're acquiring a culture, you're acquiring a set of ideas, you're acquiring thoughts. That is why I do the video on the proverbs, things that are not just the how is this one going to help me speak. It's not exactly about helping you speak, but about helping you soak in. Beat around the bush. It's going to help you a lot, because it's not every time you hit the nail direct on the head, you come by the sides and you do it this way, then you now hit it. So number 4 that I'm going to give you is get specific with your goals, your language learning goals. Don't just set ambiguous goals, very large goals, elephant-sized goals. You see, language is also like an elephant. So how do you eat something that big? How do you eat something that big? You can't just shove it into your mouth and say, I want to eat an elephant. No, you can't want to eat an elephant. If you want to eat an elephant, there's a way to eat an elephant. You eat chunks of it, you see. You eat chunks of it, you slice it, you dice it, and you take it piece by piece. So you gather a few pieces and call it breakfast. You gather a few pieces and call it lunch. You gather a few pieces and you may call it dinner. And you eat it piece by piece. So you gather this and say, this is what I want to learn this period. This is what I want to learn this period. This is what I want to learn this period. I want to learn how to express myself in greetings. I want to learn how to express myself in introducing myself. So you do that and your progress is going to be faster, because what most of you or most people do when they want to learn a language is, okay, I come on YouTube or I go anywhere it is and I'm just learning anything that is on the screen. There's no self-directed learning. You're not playing to your curiosity, to your need, your personal need. So there's no direction. So if you came today and you watched the video, and that's another thing I had to comment on, you don't watch language learning videos. They are not watched. This one you can watch it and you're done with it. But the one I did on introduce yourself in Igbo, it's not for watching, it's for practicing with. You see, it's like someone watching an exercise video. Have you seen a workout video where you are working out this way, or you're working out, somebody's working out, and you're watching it? You don't watch a workout video. You exercise with a workout video. You don't watch it. It's not for watching. So you can't come and say, Mazi, new video, make new video. The last one I made, have you learned it? Have you used it? If I called and say, okay, I want to speak with you, and I want to speak with you in the content of the lesson that I gave, have you learned it? Do you know how to introduce yourself fluently, confidently? Do you know the words, the meaning of the words in those? Because while teaching, I would like to put words, and I like to put the meaning, and I like to write it out on all of those things, so you can know the meaning of words and get more vocabulary and more expressions. Have you learned all those expressions? Have you? So if you haven't, what are you looking for a new lesson for? That is the mistake people make, because while you're looking for we think we want to learn Igbo, so we just want to, what's the next thing to learn, what's the next thing to learn, what's the next thing to learn. No, you don't want to learn Igbo. Learning Igbo will reduce your progress, but learning how to greet in Igbo is something you can manage, start and finish, then move over to another one. When I was in the north and I was trying to learn the Hausa, I started by learning how to greet. And by the time I was done with my greeting, I could greet anybody, even the emir. I could greet anybody. I could say my greetings confidently. You couldn't shake me up. I couldn't say Inakwana and you say, what did you say? I say Inakwana. I knew what I was saying. I knew it sounded right. I'd had many native speakers say it, and I've had many native speakers listen to me say it. So I've come to have confidence in what I'm saying. And you couldn't ruffle me up easily to feel like I'm not saying it right, or I don't know what I'm saying. I know what I'm saying. And sometimes I tell people, you wouldn't exactly expect me to sound like an Hausa native speaker. That's not my goal. It's not my goal. You see, I am a native Igbo speaker. So, even in my English, you can't expect me to sound like the Queen of England when I speak English. It's not possible. When I try to speak without accent, I'm not trying to be or sound like foreigner. No, I'm just trying to make it easier for you to understand me, so you don't have to strain so much. So you the difference from where you're coming from and where I am doesn't have to be that far. So you are making a journey towards me, so I'm trying to make a journey towards you. And that is the idea, because at the end of the whole thing, what we want to do with language is communicate. Don't get wasted on the idea. I think this is the bonus. Don't get wasted on the idea of sounding like a native speaker. I don't know who brought that idea into the language learning, whatever. Who said anybody needed to sound like a native speaker? You know, everybody's obsessed with speak English like a native speaker, speak Japanese like a native speaker, speak Igbo like a native speaker worth. So don't get obsessed with those kind of language goals. Focus on making meaning. What good is your native speaking sounding when you can't even make meaning? I'm trying to understand you, damn it! If I can understand you, that's the goal. Language is about I'm a communication scholar. I studied communication at the university, so I'm a communication scholar. And what the meat of any communication is the message. Can the message be understood? Can what you're saying, is it intelligible? Can someone listening to you know that you are trying to say, or you are saying this? If they can understand what you are saying, it doesn't matter if you sound like some native speaker, whatever. I'm saying, get your goals, your priorities right. You see, get your priorities right. Don't be carried away by the little things to the detriment of the bigger things. I'm definitely going to sound like a native Hausa speaker one day. I do sound in some places, but it has never been and will never be my goal. And who is even a Hausa native speaker? Who is even a Hausa native speaker? Question is, how many people are using the Hausa language today? How many people are using the Hausa language today? The fraction that are Hausa are so small to the point that if you call the others Hausa, they'll get angry with you because they'll tell you we are not Hausa. The Hausa people are small. They are not all the knots. The same thing with the Igbo. Who is speaking Igbo today? Igbo belongs to you. Igbo belongs to me. Igbo belongs to all of us. So who owns Igbo? We talk about dialects. How did dialects start? It's somebody who couldn't say it the way the others were saying it and said it the way it's being understood. Don't let me get all that way. No, I don't go there. All right, so I'm not saying create your own dialect. I'm just trying to make a point that you want to be understood. You want to be understood, not applauded. It's not a performance. It's not an art. It's an art, but it's not an art. It's a skill. It's a skill, and a skill with a purpose. There is a need for the skill, and there's a reason why we are, doing what we're doing. So, until the next time, which is very, very soon, because I'm one person that hates green screen. I hate green screen, but then I just want to play around with it because I'm bored with my regular normal background. So until the next time, my name is Prince Obiefule, and this is Igbo Made Easy. Dalu. I didn't mention you can have a one-on-one with me. Just click the link below or send me an email to Igbo Made Easy. By the link below, I mean there's a WhatsApp link just right in the description. Once you click on it, it will take you right into my inbox, and you can make inquiry for one-on-one, or you can send me an email at igbomadeeasy@gmail.com, and I'll tell you how the one-on-one runs, so we can start having one-on-one classes, and you have that safe environment where you can make all your blunders, and nobody's going to judge. But I'm going to judge. I'm going to judge because that's my highlight. Teaching Igbo in my one-on-one classes is the highlight of my day. So when every other thing has been so I just come there and enjoy and get entertained and also help you with your Igbo. So I love you learning Igbo, and you're gonna be very comfortable learning Igbo with me. No, you're gonna be very comfortable learning Igbo with me, and I'm someone you definitely want to talk to. I want to talk to me. That's why I'm still here. I'm okay. Bye.